What's up, everybody? This is Dustin with Emerald Landscapes. We're here in beautiful Mandeville, Louisiana, in the Beauchene neighborhood. We just finished up an install at one of the townhomes over here, and this is going to be a process video on how exactly we did it. The space itself, as you can see, is not super large, but a lot of this process was a little bit tedious, especially this walkway right here. If you want to do it correctly, there's a very specific way that you need to do it, and we're going to take you through that in this video. As always, if you like this sort of content, we like providing it to you. Please like, share, subscribe, and this is how it's done. To start things off, we actually removed the tree that you can see in the left-hand corner. We've got a separate video for that, so if you want to check that out, go check out our TikTok. This was a fun project. We are installing a walkway plus some plants, and we're excavating the walkway itself right here. Big Randy, strong man, hard worker, that guy. We need to remove around 6-ish inches of material here to lay our 4-inch crushed stone base and then our screeding layer for the pavers. So we're doing a little bit of digging here, getting past the good stuff into that red clay. The guys really had the busting on this one. This place was way too tight to get a machine in here, so everything had to be dug by hand. Getting pretty smooth down here. Almost ready. Save the worms, guys. Save the worms. Love worms. This stump grinder, I don't know if you ever used it. Absolute piece of crap. Randy bet me that he could remove this stump with a shovel in 30 minutes. And I was like, man, this guy's crazy. I'm just going to go rent a stump grinder. Well, worst $100 I ever spent, because it was just an absolute nightmare. Piece of crap stump grinder. Should have just let Randy do it. He was way smarter than me on this one. I am now putting in our screeding layer. Underneath this is a number 57 limestone, so about a 3/4 inch crushed stone. What I'm putting down here is number 8 limestone, which is like a 1/4 inch chip. I am using 3/4 inch conduit as my screed rails and scraping that 2x4 across to make sure everything is nice and smooth. I'm using 3/4 inch conduit because the outside diameter is 1 inch, and we want 1 inch of screeding material to set the pavers on. OSHA, don't come for me on this one. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm inhaling a ton of silica. Don't do this, guys. This is not the way to do this here. I'm cutting these pavers on an angle just to match the angle that the walkway is approaching the concrete pad right here. So these are 24-inch by 24-inch concrete pavers. You can see sort of my little string line on the opposite side. So I'm putting these 2x4 width apart, so 3.5 inches between each paver. Just tapping it with the rubber mallet to get it nice and straight. My theory, just measure twice, cut once, or 3 times, or 4 times, or 5 times. The point is, you want to measure before you cut. And I made a lot of lines on here, which is just absolutely ridiculous. I'm anticipating we're going to be doing a bit more of these paver jobs, so I think shortly here we're going to invest in a concrete saw, because the grinder took a minute and the diameter of the blade was not huge. Again, also wear a mask. Don't be like me. And there's our walkway. I'm putting up this black metal edging just to have a little bit of separation between the rocks themselves and then the actual garden beds. We went with a few varieties of plants. This is a wax leaf ligustrum. This is big blue liriope, Japanese maple for our statement piece, and then some October magic camellias. The client on this one has dogs, so we tried to leave as much space as possible for the dogs to, of course, lay in the garden bed. They love laying on top of pine straw, so we made sure to use pine straw and leave them lots of room. The initial design for this was for this liriope to basically fill the entire bed, but sometimes you gotta make changes on the fly, and I'm glad the customer shared their opinions and 2 cents, because this is their project at the end of the day. If you notice, I'm loosening the root ball for each plant. This is just best practice. If you're doing a lot of landscaping installs, it's just make it a point to do it. A lot of these plants that you get are root bound inside of the pot, and you really want to encourage that plant to grow the root system as quickly as possible. And when they're bound up in a ball, it's very hard for them to sort of branch out. And there you have it right here, folks. Liriope, Japanese maple, some beautiful pavers, some limestone, nice big bed for the dogs to lay in, wax leaf ligustrum, man, you did a good job when the customer asked you to do a little bit more before you even finish the job. These were some great customers. They had this little mailbox area that they wanted us to plant some liriope in. And, naturally we were like, heck yeah. So here's Brandon getting everything set, putting the liriope in the ground. I've said this a million times. I'm going to say it again. I love liriope. It's fantastic. It is a sensational ground cover, and you actually do get some color in the summertime. And it can withstand some pretty not ideal soil conditions and thrives in both sun and shade. There's Big Randy getting his hands dirty in there. Man, y'all wouldn't believe it, but Randy is 51 years old, and he can outwork the youngsters any day of the week. We're adding our black edging in here and replacing a handful of pavers that the customer had. Just tamping that down, a little tampy tamp, tamperoo. Setting them in there, nothing crazy. Putting the stakes for the edging down, lining up these pavers. We're getting close to finish here, guys. Using a little polymeric sand, blowing it off, spraying it off, and voila, the finished product.